Okay, greetings, guardians of the galaxy, is what I heard. Let's get into this message. So, take what resonates, leave what does not. This is Vibrational Guidance Over Truth, an oracle and tarot channel where we just hop into the energy. I use myself and my own current and past experiences as a launching board, launching pad for some of you, for you to build yourself up off of, to look at how I summarize how things have occurred or are occurring in my life, and for you to use your own critical thinking skills and to apply that to say what you should and should not have done if you were in those shoes, would and would not have done if you were in those shoes, all that type of stuff. The comment section for this channel is closed, mainly because I do not want to offer the seemingly infinite energy of negativity and posers and scammers to perpetrate and penetrate our lives in any unnecessary ways. And I have noted on many other channels that that's just their number one avenue, is the comment section, to impersonate and to provide fraudulent activity. So for here, it will forever be closed. Maybe there'll be a day, I don't want to use absolutes and say forever, where they might not apply, but as of right now, it is definitely closed. All right, so I heard tap back into the energy because this is my second reading in this sun cycle and see what the nose goes to show. All right. Spirit guides, ascendant masters, all forces connected to the highest, best good will and way being manifest now in this lifetime. Please tap into my energy, allow me to tap into yours, and reveal what you would like to reveal. Okay. What messages would you like to bring out? What would you like to say? All right. What would you like to say? We have another storybook. Thank you so much for what you've chosen to say. I'm excited to share this with the collective. All right. So first up, I'm seeing right here, we have a series of reversals. So all these cards are in the reverse, but I'm going to go ahead and flip them upright so we can see what they are. So the first reversal we have here is Soldier. So there might be a guardian, someone who is not a guardian, is not loyal, is not honorable, does not have integrity, a selfish person in your life. And I'm reading, of course, the opposites of what the card actually says. Some of you also have someone who is acting like a child, or there is a child who doesn't seem to have a beacon of hope in their life. They seem to be dying, withering away. They are very guilty is what I heard. The word here is innocent, and I want to use the opposite of innocent, which could be, I'm thinking, manipulated and jaded, but they're not innocent at all. They're very good manipulators. They're cunning. Opposite of a child, even, I'm thinking, is like an older person, an elderly person who is not growing, and instead of being vulnerable, they are faking their vulnerability. So maybe an elderly person who is pretending to be in a position of need who is not. There's also this traveler in the reverse. So maybe someone who used to travel a lot, who is not traveling as much anymore. And this person is not seeking new horizons. This individual is actually not wanting to go on adventures, not looking for new experiences, and not having come on a long journey that proclaimed that they have been on. And then the image of this card is actually an older man with his very beautiful gray hair and his satchel and his rolling suitcase and hat. We have up next the driver. So someone is not driving and steering their life in the right direction. This former soldier who is an older individual who used to travel but is not traveling anymore, who is not navigating the journey of their life well. They're not steering in the right direction. They're not providing safe passage to the people who are with them, and they are not welcoming. So this is its own narrative. Next, we have these series of cards here. And the first one up is a genius. So someone is very smart. They have amazing gifts. They're extraordinary, highly intelligent, have an innovative mind, and very exceptional abilities, who also could be, with their genius, just in a season of keeping it simple. I heard simplicity, to be specific. So they might be a genius, but they're choosing to play it low and slow, be a repairman, repairing things, using things to have immediate gratification, restoring homes, restarting their life. I'm hearing their energetic essence and renovating homes potentially. This person, if it's all one person, is probably I want to say clown, but I actually was looking for another word to use, and what came to mind is like a trickster in a positive light, or a joker, someone who loves to crack jokes. And they just love to laugh. They're very comedic. They love to see you smile. They do wear a mask because they hide their genius beside this ability to be maybe a very funny repairman. But in all actuality, going back to that genius, they're a researcher. In the low, I heard, not on the down low, but in the low, in the lowness of light, like in this card, they're exploring different truths. They're using their mind for exploration, explorative purposes, to study with rigor and experiment on whatever it is. So this person is really captivating. I like this energy a lot. This person also, energy in the upright, is the security guard. As it pertains to, they patrol their community. They probably patrol everything around them. They might have a dog, I'm hearing, that patrols their home when they're not there. But they are a watchman, very observant with their eyes, and they love, I'm hearing, providing the service that they do. And I'm seeing this juxtaposed against this soldier energy, so I'm assuming that security guard, maybe this person has two jobs, where they're a repairman by day and security guard by night, and in their free time, or even in those evenings, because I'm not feeling that this person sleeps a lot due to their overactive brain, their inability to sit still. So immediate repairman, something controllable, fixed. I'm hearing perfect outcome, immediate during the day for such said customers, but keeping it lighthearted and funny anytime someone's around them, but doing serious and meaningful research to them in their off time. So they have a very valuable lifestyle that they have set up, and so much so that they're providing the extra service of being like the security guard, always being on the watch for, I'm hearing, the community kids. Picking up on single man energy also with this, who is also a courier. And I say single man energy because all of these images are of men. Masculine face, masculine face, masculine face, masculine face, masculine face, masculine face. So this very much so is giving off single man who is a messenger, who builds connections, who delivers things, who is an information transmitter, transmission, and who has a gift, is the bringer of gifts, new knowledge. So this card connects with almost all of them in particular. Now, I wanted to grab for this, so I saw that card, but I'm going to go what I grabbed for it because we have some more of this in the reverse energy, and then the rest of these are like up and to the right. So like what's coming in, you know, in and moving forward, like the diagonal angle of these. But these that were in the reverse, let's go ahead and take them, and I'm going to put them back in the reverse. So the first we have here is musician. So going back to this soldier energy, I'm hearing us talk about that person again. And maybe some of you have two options with the type of person who's coming in. But this person was potentially a musician. They like a certain type of music that you tolerated with, you put up with a period of time, but it's really not yours. They say that it's got great harmony, that its creators are passionate, that it's got a very deep and connecting to their soul, maybe soulful sound, and it's celebratory to that person's life experiences. Yeah, and you're thinking, yeah, that might be true, but you don't really get with it. And I'm thinking for myself specifically, there was a person who I was in a past relationship with, and they often played a lot of different types of music and would have these like music sessions where they just go down and play all the songs that they like listening to growing up. And I, of course, sit on the couch, entertain them, enjoy myself as well, just because it was music that I did not grow up with. However, it got to a point where I did listen to these songs so much deeply that my soul always knew there was a deeper connection to the words that this person had. And as I listened to the words to hear what the connection was, I did not resonate with that at all, which let me know I don't resonate with this person, seeing how much they enjoyed that music. I was simply doing it, but preoccupying my mind with something else, something more important to me that I was either doing on my laptop or doing on my like putting my mind on mentally while sitting there in the chair, like truly multitasking, being able to nod and pat my hand or my feet on beat, but be in a whole nother realm and space. So maybe that's some of you. Then we have the mother card here in the reverse. Interesting, coming juxtaposed right here across from the child. So again, maybe that older energy I was talking about when I said I'm even hearing opposite of a child, like an older individual. It's probably an older female who is in selfishness, opposite of selfless love. Does not give unconditional love, but love is based on the condition of what you do for this individual, who comes off as a nurturer, but really they want things done for themselves, want to have the outward presence of a lavish lifestyle, and to be, I'm hearing, pampered instead of doing the nurturing and bringing up, well, I did this for you when you were young, and all the diapers I wiped, and like putting that guilt trip on things that you cannot have done for yourself as a child. And the fact that they did all these things for all those years, I'm hearing some of them even say, I did that for you. I took care of you for 30 years. No, it was probably up until the age of 18. I'm hearing 17, chosen for some of you, and then you were off. But because they were a person that sometimes you called out to on the phone for advice, they're including all those years of just going to them for counsel as well. And this person is saying, well, I'm the source of life. No. And this is really going to step on some toes and hurt some people's feelings, but no. Just because you came through the birthing portal of a particular feminine species, a particular feminine female, does not mean that they are the source of life. And let me maybe break this down, because I've even said this to my mother, I think once, maybe twice. And I was actually saying this to her as it pertains to her relationship with her mother, not at all thinking about my own mother and my relationship with her. However, she, I guess, took it personal. She took it that way, and at the end made a statement like, wow, I didn't know that you feel that way towards me. I said, no, we were talking about your mother, and everything I was saying was pertaining to your mother. But then I even like cattily came back and said, because I was offended that she thought I was talking about her. I said, well, you know, if the shoe fits, something along those lines. I said, well, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it probably is. I said, but I wasn't talking about you. However, if you take it in that light, then I can't tell you not to take it that way if it already struck you energetically in that wavelength kind of way. And for some of you, that might be the case. But this is a maternal person who does not have patience and who is not a comforter, who is actually a destroyer or comfort. So let me break this part down, because this card, it's really getting at me to explain it for the collective. And I know that I choose to do so in this way. So let me really break this down. I'm hearing hold tight on that card, but I will slide it to the side so I can remember to get to it. Going back to what I said at the end of the last reading, all of your energy, 1313 was just on the video timer. All of your energy has been collected and stored collectively across a myriad of spaces. Stars, galaxies, lifetimes, pieces of you are scattered endlessly, arrayed around the earth soil, the realm, the moisture, and the air, all of it. You were in multiple places at once, cross dimensions all at once. Especially think about the dream state. You're in multiple dimensions, multiple times and spaces, realms, buildings, places, locations that you physically with your vessel are not at, but you mentally, esoterically, the vessel of your soul is there. That's the same way with the karma of people getting it messed up. I'm hearing mixed up with who your mother is. Your mother is not the birth vessel that you come out of. Hold on a second. Your mother is not the birth vessel that you come out of. That is a portal. That person, I'm hearing, has been enabled, has been able to, has been allowed to hold your source DNA and just a piece of it. They have no particular path, no particular promise, no particular plan for bringing you specifically out from in their ovaries to fruition. They can't hand pick you as an egg. Well, science is a whole bunch of, fakery, and I even want to say the F word, cuss word, but I'm trying not to do that. There's a whole bunch of that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the completely natural way of a man and a woman laying down. He ejaculates in her womb, and at the time of ovulation, in that window, an egg is present. The sperm that ignites the fire is on track, and it sets up in that uterus, and it brings forth life. That process. She couldn't choose the specific egg, and he couldn't choose the specific sperm. It was a cosmic connection. It was an esoteric, otherworldly knowing that brought you to being. As a result, she is not your mother. The actual mother is the originator of this process, who chose for such a time as this, or for such a time as that, to know that, to guide that particular egg, to know that and guide that particular sperm or set of sperm, when we're talking about twins and triplets and quadruplets and things along those lines, that original mother who knew this is what is allowable for such a time as this, and I have put the genetics of this particular masculine makeup and the genetics of this particular feminine makeup within these two vessels, and there will be a time in there, as they were called, I think in ancient Greek and Roman days, the fates with the cords. There will be a time, if you need a visual illustration of this, they are depicted in the movie Hercules, a cartoon movie, I believe might have been done by Disney, maybe Pixar. Don't quote me on it, but it's one of those maybe. But as some would say, the fates have decided that these two energies will come together, are going to collide, are going to penetrate and be able to be penetrated for such a time as this. I can't stop stressing it enough for you to come and be born. That makes your mother not your mother. It makes the person who programmed, I actually heard perpetrated this process to be your mother. The vessel that the specific genetics and DNA that you were placed in was simply the chosen portal, who again, knowingly or unknowingly, up to the fates, whoever you want to call it, source mother, God, goddess, source father, God itself, masculine and feminine creators of all of life, chose for a piece of you to be here and a piece of you to be there, and knew that they were going to bring together the two pieces of you for you to be here. That had nothing to do with him and her choosing to sleep together. It all had to do with the energetic nudge and the pull of the two halves of you, the feminine X part of you and the Y chromosome part of you that was in the masculine father coming together, or the X and the X coming together. It was an energetic pull, nothing more, nothing less, in order to cause the manifestation of you. That was simply the gateway. You, the feminine and masculine, the X and the Y, the X and the X, were pre-chosen from Mother Source, Gaia, if you want to call her that, from Father Source Universe. And there's so many representations of this. So don't get so caught up on these socially taught constructions of family, these roles that we have been reared in, nurtured into buying into because of the role that society has now shaped that they need to serve for us. There are countless many mothers in history who have born a child and left them for dead on the side of the road. And have, fortunately, some have been picked up by passerbyers and strangers. Babies being left on doorsteps, being dropped off at orphanages. So having a baby does not make you a mother. Caring for a baby does not make you a mother. Some people can give care, financially provide for the means, and ship someone off to a boarding school. Have a nanny take care of you all of your life until the years of you going to boarding school. Then you're off to college. Like, that is some people's life. Irregardless of the financial opportunity to be able to do that, is that really experiencing whatever it is that that person claims a mother is supposed to get the credit for giving and experiencing? So there's a lot of contention with this term for some, for others, especially as it pertains to masculines perpetrating feminine energy. But I'm just hearing now that this person is actually a child. They're being very childish. They're pretending to be a beacon of hope, which they are not. They're hoping that you will see them in this motherly light. Hopefully you will see them as giving this selfless love, but that's not at all quite what they gave. They're hoping that you see them as the springing bud that held you for 9 months or more, and that they nurtured you when in all honesty, they were negative towards you the entire time and were not nurturing you, but putting the nurturing of you off on others. They're hoping that you see them as innocent, and I'm hearing futile, with very little days left, and that you'll come in and be the source of light for them. And I'm just reading literally the phrases on either side on the same line. And they're not innocent, and they're not the true source of your life. They're just the vessel that held you. They're wanting you to see them as somebody who, even in their late stages, are willing to grow. They just want you to be there with them as they grow, like how they were with you in your early stages as you grow. Bullshit is what I'm hearing. They are simply not in maternal patience, but they are in a maternal practice of expecting from you, because they provided fiscally, physically, what you could not do for yourself when you were an infant. This is not unconditional love, because they're pretending to be vulnerable. Oh man, what is that thing called when people can think up a disease and then it comes? Hypochondriac. Dated and married one. Lord have mercy when I tell you, they are skilled. They are skilled. It only takes the planting of a thought of a seed. Give them some time. They will physically manifest and conjure up the symptoms. I don't care how many times you take them to the hospital. Holla if you hear me on your side of the screen. I'm just raising my hands. Took this, I want to say boy, but took this man to the hospital every single time. Wanted blood tests done. I want to figure out what this is going on. Refused to have the blood samples taken so we could get to the bottom of this, because after you do this 3-4 times, after you do this 6-8 times, after you do this 12, 13, 14 times within a 9-year time period, it really gets old and your heart gets weary. As the comforter that this person is claiming to be, they're really wanting you to comfort them and are faking this vulnerability. They're creating things that are not real, or maybe they're well off enough to have a doctor friend or a doctor in the family write up paperwork claiming that they've got something, and undue stress is what has caused the manifestation of this. So yeah, that card took quite a while, but someone really needed to hear that. Your mother is a fake and is on to you. Then we have spiritual seeker in the reverse. So this person is acknowledging that you've been on the spiritual path, and they're saying, hey, I want to learn from you. You know, enjoy the music that I enjoy. I'm your mother, and I'll go on this spiritual path with you. I just want to, expose me to what it is that you've been exposed to. They're really just trying to be a gatekeeper, an observer of what it is that's causing you to have this enlightenment, so they can come back and have these conversations with you to clap back at, I'm hearing, and challenge you on what you're thinking. Yeah, and what's the last card in the reverse is friend. They're pretending to be your friend when they're really not. We're at an age where we're adults and we can be each other's friends. And just give me a moment, because I'm going to need to charge my tablet. It said that it was low, and I'm shocked. It was on 100% when I got started. And I've only done 2 videos. This is the second one. The first one, about 28-30 minutes, and this one, but hopefully it has been remedied. All right, next I'm seeing this stack. So we have the blacksmith, Someone is forging a new path. They're melting away their past, shaping something new from the fire, and they're tempering themselves, their energy, especially as it pertains to the frequencies that have been coming in to influence them that they're now noticing. This person is also, I'm hearing, ready to be a father, potentially is a father. They believe in family. They believe in the patriarch and the role of the masculine, not higher than the feminine, but equal to the feminine in their own right, as both being guardians, security guard, and having paternal authority, meaning I am here to show you the path. As a courier, I am the path. I'm hearing finder, the pathway maker for you. I'm delivering information to you to restore and repair and restart and renovate what it actually means to be in this paternal authority road. I have ancestral pastors that I come from, and I'm going to do this right for you. This person might be young in heart or young, irregardless of this masculine's age, because I am picking up on masculine energy again, simply due to the fact that there's an image of a masculine and a blacksmith, a father here holding a young feminine daughter's hands, and this is a man in this skiing, I believe it is, or it's one board, so it might be snowboarding image, but he's got those stakes in his hands that they use, for skiing. So yeah, that's that. Then we have reader. So this person loves to read, and the book came out in the last reading. And it says here under young, a person who, irregardless of their age, has a lot of vitality. They're very innovative, going back to genius, have a lot of potential, even though right now you might meet them as a repairman. And I'm hearing lowly repairman if you're really judgmental toward this person when you meet them. But they have the potential for growth. Again, researcher. Starting in one place and with growth mindset, they're going to conduct their experiments with rigor and discover the truth. This reader is a seeker of knowledge, is a pursuer of knowledge, is an explorer of information. And we have over here explorer of truth and explorer of information. Another masculine on this card. And then we have another masculine here, which is a challenger. So this person challenges the status quo. They challenge the traditional narratives. It says seeker of adventure. So I'm thinking of this courier here, juxtaposed against this masculine image in the reverse of a traveler. They have courage. I'm hearing to take on these love relationships or love relationship. And they are willing to set a goal and also not be judgmental as they could be. And up under this, I'm hearing let these cards flow down. These are the ones in the upright. So maybe for some of you, you have this, and I'm speaking, I want to say only, I was about to say mainly, but only to my feminine energy, simply because this is a reading for a masculine and a feminine. A masculine needed to hear the part of this reading about this energy, the child and the mother. There's a feminine here who needs to hear about this particular strip of information. Okay? So from genius, repairman, clown, researcher, security guard, and courier, this is a masculine in his current energy. This masculine currently and moving forward, the blacksmith, the father, the young one, in heart and mind. Again, take it how it resonates. He might not actually be younger than you in years. I know I personally definitely would not like that, considering the old soul that I come from. I desperately, I want to say need, but honestly it's want. A masculine who is older than me, if not significantly older than me, who is a reader and a challenger, okay? And for this masculine listening in on this reading, what's for you is noting the people and the roles in your life that, yes, you are connected with and you resonate with these two areas, but also how there's this pretend soldier in reverse in your life. Maybe this fake masculine father or father figures or uncle figures. This feminine acting like a child, this pretender of having traveled and seen the world and saying things that I'm hearing did in the military that they actually did not do. And, they're still tired from those days way back in the day. This improper driver of their destiny, or feminines, maybe this is a masculine you're stepping away from, but I'm hearing this is a masculine who needs to keep an eye on these types of energies. who also is, again, looking at the music taste of the people in their community. He needs to pay attention to his mother. He needs to pay attention to how he is a spiritual seeker, and people are trying to creep in and see in, on what you're doing. I'm hearing even pull back on sharing things with your uncle, on your brother. People who have grown up maybe in the particular religious community that you grew up in, to pull back from sharing so much of this with them, because they're coming off as being your friend, but they're actually not. They're betrayers. They're going back, and I'm hearing giving energy back to this mother figure so she can come in and act all sweetly towards you to talk about it and to keep you from traveling and driving and steering your life in the direction that you want to, you should. Some of you, again, this is in the upright, are a chef. You have culinary skills, or you're willing to make culinary differences and changes in your life. I don't know why I said culinary differences, but you're a maestro in your own right. You love cooking. You enjoy cooking. Maybe some of you grew up in the kitchen with a feminine figure. I'm hearing maybe a grandmother. And seasoning, the flavoring of foods, no matter what you're eating, even if it's all vegetables and beans and breads, or always soups and smoothies and salads, whatever it is, the seasoning and how proficient you are with doing this, but no matter what the cuisine is, you're really good at this too. And maybe it's some classes you're willing to take in. That's what you're going to get out here and do. Just be careful of the energy you pick up on. Just because you meet somebody out in a culinary class doesn't mean, oh, I heard this in a Oracle Tarot message, and I got out there and I really met this girl and she smiled at me and she was talking all the right things. Be careful of that. Like, don't just make those dots connect like that. It's not that simple for some of you. Again, you're one of a kind. You're that egg. You're that sperm. I'm not saying it's not going to be that easy, but realize and be indifferent sometimes in the beginning to protect yourself in a way to notice that you're just dropping off messages here. You're just sometimes out to be having conversations. If it's meant to be, trust me, if there's that magnetic connection and cool, and I'm not just talking about sexual desires because maybe you've been abstinent for a while. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. We have the Lover card here. And with this one, it says love, romance, reproduction, infinity. So again, you will meet masculine, who is the lover of your life. You will meet her. Y'all will have a love like none other. Y'all will have a romance like no other that is not able to be described or put in words in any books or movie screens, because you are the reproducing one in her of y'all's life dreams and bringing those to manifest here in the physical realm. Y'all have infinity on y'all's minds always. It's always us forever, irregardless of lifetimes, wavelengths, frequencies. We are always together. We've always been together. We are now physically together in this lifetime, and it's going to stay that way. You have painter. Maybe some of you could take up the hobby of painting, or maybe she is a painter and enjoys painting. It says depict, sublimate, abstraction, form, and sensation. So maybe you receive sensation. You are the chef. She is the painter. Or maybe you and she are both chef and painter. I don't know why I'm hearing a connection between the two, as they both enjoy these. Or maybe you're really good at that. She enjoys the food and she's starting to paint and you're enjoying her paintings, or vice versa. But I'm going to say it's you. Maybe you also, sir, are a painter or take up painting or enjoy doing this on the side, because it's a masculine in this image as well. So again, confirming that this, I'm hearing message, this aspect of the reading is definitely for a masculine, because here's the last card. You are an engineer. You are the architect of solutions. You are the engineering practice person. You are the problem solver. You are the complex systems technology regenerator. Okay? So whatever it is, masculine, you are a genius. You are completely a genius. And there are different types of genius, but I'm respecting you when I say you are, whoever I'm talking to, whoever this message is meant for, you are a genius, sir. Yes, you might be a repairman. You fix problems with your hands, but your joking, jovial nature, man, it makes you so freaking wonderful to be around. And you're a researcher too. Whatever it is, an esoteric knowledge, knowledge that you are going after. Got a little tongue-tied there, apologies. The security guard, the protector that you are, enjoyer of being on patrol, how you pick up and drop off messages, how you're forging your way and tempering your soul and your energy, knowing your role as father when that time comes, as guardian. You're just so young at heart and wonderful, whoever you are. And I want you to know that you are that reader who is learning and having that relationship with your books, that you should to continue being the challenger in your dream state, mental life, and in the physical, because your chef, maestro, culinary cooking abilities, being beyond proficient in seasoning, is what's gonna, I heard, make your love of your life see that you love beyond loving, with even the simple care of the one dish a week you might make. The romance that you bring to your love life is unmatched, unforgettable. You do things, you try things with her that you just have never seen be done in this type of love relationship, because you care for her. You really want to reproduce. I'm hearing produce again, because in past lifetimes, in other realms and dimensions, y'all are producing, but you're producing again here on this realm in wavelength and frequency and timeline. And it's right, it's time for it, because it's the infinite possibilities that y'all have. It's infinite love, it's forever love. You as the painter who are depicting from the abstract form in your mind, from the sensations that you feel in your body, in your heart, are simply cultivating and engineering all of the solutions to every single problem. I love problem solvers. I'm a problem solver myself. And the fact that it says here that you are a complex systems problem solver, I just can't get enough of that and love that for you, for myself. So whoever you are, masculine, I hope you really do enjoy this reading. I'm hearing, don't get that card, just close out this reading because of time, but I really do want to get a card from my Divine Masculine deck. And if you would like to get this deck yourself, I'm hearing it in my heart too, like, don't do it, don't get that. I don't know why it's coming out, but part of me wants to do it anyways, and just put the homework on you to go get it. So if you are just a participant, or you stumbled across this reading and you don't have your own tarot deck, and you don't believe in tapping into this energy yourself, because it's not for everyone, but you need to know how to read energy for yourself, especially if you are a lover of books and reading, I'm going to suggest for you, masculine, maybe to start with this, okay? And I want you to be careful, like really think on this, meditate on this if this is for you. There is a deck called Divine Masculine. I'm just now tapping into this too, so I so apologize if this is not the right energy for you, but I'm just feeling called to say this from some other realm and part of me too. It's called Divine Masculine Healing Oracle. Here's the information on the side of it. I purchased this from Amazon. If you would like to go out and get this yourself, you can. But I'm going to say, I'm going to pull a card, and I'm not going to read the meaning of the card, because there's so many different masculine images and figures in here from history and lifetimes that I'm not aware of them all and can accurately state what that energy means, especially for this reading. However, the book that accompanies this, that's what I would say is your homework. So this deck should definitely not be used on a daily basis. It's like a once in a blue moon, a once in a full moon. But let's just tap in and see what potentially is the overall masculine energy, okay? And if you want to know what it is and what it means, you can either look up this person in history or go get this deck yourself, just hide it away, and only read the page of this particular masculine energy that comes out in the reading. You don't have to, it's your choice. All right. Okay, let's get one more shuffle in. I'm wondering why I heard that do that. All right, let's see. What's masculine energy? Okay. What lights come out? I know it's gonna fall as soon as I let go. Yep. All right, what masculine energy would like to come out? Multiple masculine energies came out. And maybe that's why they said you don't have the time for that and you've got to do justice. So, wow. All right, so the first one to come out was this one. And I heard it's pointing at the Traveler card. So maybe the energy of this masculine in reverse. Ooh, this says a lot. Okay. I'm seeing chalk, Native American energy with this Traveler beside it. So the energy of this first card. And we also have Anubis here. Okay. So chalk, CHAAK. Again, get it and read it from the book if you would like to, or you can just do your own research. Then we have Anubis here. And on top of that, we have over the child card specifically, I believe this is Lu, L-U-G-H, but I definitely could be enunciating that wrong. I do not recall coming across this figure in history or any of my reading. It looks like a Celtic or Norse or Druid ancestry. I know this is Native American, and I know Anubis is connected to African, Afrocentric spiritual systems and history. But we have here, and I love this. I was so hoping that these were cards, whatever they were facing in the future position, and they are. Interesting energy. So it's I've never seen this card before, of course. This is probably my second or third time working with this deck. But the name at the bottom is spelled Y-A-R. Excuse me for that yawn. Y-A-R-I-L-O. And then we have here Atlas. And they're both facing the future. Okay? So thank you so much for tuning into this reading. If any aspect of this message resonates with you and you feel called to, if you want to like or share or subscribe, you can. I'm not here at all for monetizing this channel. I'm here simply to be obedient and be a conduit. I'm trying to get back to the original purpose of this channel, which is simply to be a message messenger, to let what spirit needs to come through me and speak through me about to come through for you. So I love you. For those of you that message and tone is meant to reach to, if it's not for you, then don't take what is not meant for you. And if you do, my spirit guides are definitely going to snatch it from you if you do or try to. But peace and love and light, and blend your shadow and your light side appropriately is what I'm hearing. And until next time.